I would also fix that, every organization that invites athletes to cover all of their expenses.
Recently, all of the Fix episodes have been filled with three things: entertainment, quality, and controversies. Lots of controversies. So, what happened in this latest episode? This was the super chat that kind of ignited things.
He's put, Neil, your show is called The Fix. What one thing would you like to fix about arm wrestling in 2023?
I cannot show you the entire reply from Neil Pickup, but basically, I'll summarize what he said. First of all, he talked about the division between IFA and WAF, International Arm Wrestling Federation and World Arm Wrestling Federation. He was saying that this is potentially hampering the abilities of the athletes and their future prospects in arm wrestling. And of course, it is a good thing if these kind of distractions are removed from arm wrestling. These bondages from athletes are removed. Really good thought. He also mentioned something about East versus West qualifiers in UK, and he said that this is also hampering those qualifiers as well. And after that, Neil said something about the toxicity and negativity in arm wrestling. He said the toxicity isn't that much, but it is definitely there, and it would be way better if it is removed from the arm wrestling community. I agree with both of these things. So what exactly went wrong? These two thoughts seem to be the most idealistic, perfect thoughts out there. Everybody wants that. Nobody wants to see division and toxicity or negativity. So my assumption would be, and before we talk about that, let me show you what Engin Terzi's reply to that was.
I would also fix that, every organization that invites athletes to cover all of their expenses. That there would be something to fix as well.
Mhm.
So if you are not able to understand what Engin was trying to say here, the shot at Neil Pickup was basically about arm wars. It was revealed few months ago that Neil Pickup doesn't pay for the athletes' travel. There is no match fees, there is no winning bonus, nothing. So even if you are Devon Larratt, you have to book your own flights with your own money, going to the event and back to the home. There is no prize money, there is no winner's bonus, no match fees, and basically if you go to Armwars, you are being provided with a hotel room and a table to arm wrestle on and a bunch of cameras around you. That's about it. And of course, these things can get lost when they are transferred from one person to another. The information passes by. So maybe what I'm telling you is only 80% right. Maybe I'm missing or misinterpreting some of the details, but at least 80-90% right. That much I would say. So that's what Engin's problem was. And of course, this is also one of the idealistic situations. Arm wrestling is big now, not that big as much as we would like it to be, but it is already big. So it would be good if the promoters invite the athletes and actually pay them, at least book their flights from your own money. I was talking about inviting some of the Indian arm wrestlers to do a podcast or something on my Hindi channel, and I offered them to pay for their travel expenses. So it is not that difficult. It is, yeah, in international travel, the things get different, more expensive, but international athletes should bring more numbers as well, more money as well. So it kind of evens it out. So that was the punchline. And why would Engin say that? Did Neil say anything offensive? Well, it doesn't seem to be that way. For Engin to say such thing, it would depend on two things. Neil either said something about Engin that he didn't like, or something about East versus West that Engin didn't like. Because in one of the previous episodes as well, Neil said something about East versus West. I don't exactly remember. And the next time Engin was on the show and he kind of confronted Neil about that. That was kind of a misinformation from, or something, a change of a statement or something from Neil Pickup. So it could have been about that, because Neil said only one thing about East versus West in his statement, and that was for the athletes to go to East versus West qualifiers, they have to completely sign off from IFA and sign for WAF that they are going to compete with them. Then they can compete in East versus West qualifiers in UK. I have never heard about this, because there have been some IFA athletes who are competing. Vitali is competing. So if Vitali, which used to be an IFA athlete, if he can compete directly into East versus West, I don't think the qualifiers require you to sign anything like that. Maybe I'm wrong, but this is the only thing that Neil talked about in this, and maybe it was something because of some previous reasons. I would say that Neil kind of deserved it. Maybe not for this topic, but for some of the other things, but he kind of deserved it. And I'm not one of those tough guys who straight away enjoy these moments. For me, it was like kind of difficult to watch. Like I was watching it and with my earphones on, screen off, then I turned the screen on, but then still I couldn't look at it. I was looking away. Same situation when RVJ was straight away at his face calling out Sasha Andreev for using steroids in Neil Pickup's live, and I was like, okay, that was a bit rough. So these situations are kind of enjoyable, but for me, these are kind of difficult to watch. So let me show you what the Reddit community has to say about this. So the title is "What a Shot from Engin." Let's see what the comment section says about this. He might not even thinking about Neil, but that was a KO. Yeah, no, I do think he was thinking about Neil. Yeah, he definitely was. Good reply. Engin is the GOAT. Just that. Glad someone else caught that. Is Engin finally getting tired of Neil's scummy promoter habits? If the shoe fits. I need to improve my English. I cannot understand these references. Like, tell me, what does this mean? Please. Nods and continues to make the athletes pay for their travel, bro. That's funny, but there have been no events till now after that event. All the time making money from a fraudulent PPV scheme. Yeah, plain scummy. Okay, let's read the next comments. What promoted Engin to call Neil? Yeah, that's what we discussed. I think it's good to draw attention to it though. What a joke to make athletes pay their way. Yeah, just Engin. Nobody wants more of these athletes than Engin. Yeah, Engin is awesome. At the time, I just nodded my head as I completely forgot about the Arm Wars revelations. Yeah, he was having a go. It's a wishful thinking, not a shot or dig at anyone. Okay, Engin or Neil, all of us just wish to at least. And I don't believe so. I don't believe so. Like Devon and Sandres could have been paid from that pay-per-view money. I like Neil in general, but he gets extremely defensive very easily. Yeah, you cannot give Neil any feedback about arm wars at all, positive or negative. Engin is the hero of arm wrestling. I can't understand him. What is he saying? So he is saying the promoter shouldn't invite athletes to their events while also making athletes cover event-related expenses, travel, accommodations. Yeah, accommodations are covered. So that's about it. So you get the idea what is being conveyed here. What do you think about this situation? Like, is it really impossible for Neil to cover the expenses of the athletes? Is it that much difficult? How can Umesh, do you know Umesh? The guy who invited Jordan Sonev to pull Matt Mask and Robert Gould. He paid all of the athletes and covered their expenses and accommodation, everything. So if Umesh can do that, why can't Neil Pickup do that? That's the question. Another thing Neil always says, well, Armwars is for the exposure of the athlete. Like, is it really? Who is getting, if Devon is competing at Armwars now, I'm not talking about 15 years ago. If Devon is competing at Armwars now, who is really getting the exposure? Is it Devon or is it Armwars? I think it is Armwars. If you watch, let's say at least first 20 matches, one RVJ match was a little bit famous, and then Uncle John was viewed a few times, and Ryan Bowen's match. But if we kind of exclude these matches, none of the matches got views. Literally none of the matches got viewed. I can pull in my house with someone, have a super match, and that will get like 20,000 views, and most of the matches were less than that. So is it really, is Arm Wars really that big in today's world that it is giving that much exposure to the athletes, that much future opportunities to the athletes, that you don't have to pay for their expenses, leave alone the prize monies and fixed fees for showing up on a super match? To a super match? Yeah, I think to a super match. So these are some of the questions. As I said earlier, even if I invite, let's say, Rahul Panikar, Akash Kumar, I want to, not even a super match. I was telling them that I just want you to, I just want to invite both of you guys to have a practice pull. If they said yes, for a practice pull, I could have covered their expenses. Maybe we could have recorded a podcast, and I would have tried to find some sponsors, a workout, and a practice video. Those 3 videos, and I could have covered their expenses and their accommodation, travel, everything. And this is something that we need to take into account as well. Because by the way, Neil, please, I know you're watching this video. You have given the members everything they deserved. They have seen the left and right-handed matches on Arm Wars. Why are you delaying in posting those matches on your channel or Arm Wars? Just post them. Channel needs those views. You need those views for subscribers, because when Devon competes, the channel goes from, let's say, 20,000 to 50,000 subscribers. So that is also going to help you a lot with earnings in the future. So how can you neglect that? So even if you take a loss in the beginning, still you should be able to pay the athletes their expenses. And Armors, yeah, whatever the venue is, whatever it takes, whatever expense it takes to book the venue, then that's about it. After that, you have to pay for the cameras and for James to edit. I don't understand where are the expenses going. Like, he was saying that I have put thousands or thousands. I think he said 100,000 pounds. I think he said thousands and thousands of pounds. So where are these expenses going? Maybe the venue was that much expensive, but I don't see any other expenses there. I don't see those half naked ring girls or table girls, whatever we can call them in arm wrestling. A single set of referee. Please tell me where are the expenses, because I cannot find them. Thank you for watching. Your suggestions are always welcome, and I'll see you again. Subscribe, like.